attempt to expand the war.
And DD India's Stuart Smith joins us live for more on this from London. Stuart, how is the new Prime Minister leveraging his position for a renewed post-Brexit relationship with EU and Europe in particular at this forum?
It's a fantastic opportunity that any new Prime Minister of any country would be very pleased to have. This event was arranged long before him, in fact, before even Rishi Sunak, the former Prime Minister, but it allows him, just 2 weeks after being voted in, to start meeting European leaders, having also met NATO leaders more broadly in Washington. Now, while formally this is about climate change, energy security and immigration, it's also a chance for the Prime Minister to meet with these European leaders in person and try to make it clear to them that the UK is seeking a new relationship with the EU, a reset, as he's called it, something that French President Emmanuel Macron has welcomed. And it's with French President Emmanuel Macron that Keir Starmer has a lot to talk about when it comes to one of the main domestic changes and focuses of UK foreign policy now, immigration. The UK suffers with an issue of illegal immigrants crossing from Belgium, France and the Netherlands across the English Channel into England. Keir Starmer scrapped the previous government's scheme to deal with that, the Rwanda scheme, which would have seen asylum seekers sent to Rwanda in Africa for processing, and so now he's trying to come up with a new solution. Domestically, that means taking 100 members of the Home Office staff who were working on that scheme onto a new scheme to try to prevent illegal immigration across the Channel, but he needs European leaders' help, and that's going to be a huge focus as these working groups get underway later in the day here in England. What they are looking at is a potential agreement that would allow the UK to send illegal immigrants back to the continent, something that the UK used to be able to do when in the European Union, but no longer can. And Keir Starmer trying to get particularly help from the French President Emmanuel Macron with that.
And how could we expect the deliberations on Ukraine? We know President Zelensky was there at this forum attending this meeting, but the apprehensions say if there is a change of guard in the United States, and how could those dynamics affect what is European support to Ukraine?
Yeah, European leaders are very aware of this point, that if Donald Trump becomes the new US president, support for Ukraine is likely to diminish, and it will be more on European countries to continue that support unless Ukraine starts to struggle even more with the Russian attacks. And so Keir Starmer made that point. He said that he was trying to encourage European leaders to step up to help Ukraine, and Volodymyr Zelensky once again made that point as well. The UK has been at the forefront of support for Ukraine, and that's not changing under Keir Starmer, even with the new government. He says that the threat from Russia reaches right across Europe, and as part of support for Ukraine, there will be working group discussions this afternoon about how European leaders can counteract Russian threats that they believe could pose problems for their democracy, such as a disinformation, with Emmanuel Macron, the French president, going to lead a discussion about that, and also about cracking down on illegal Russian oil shipments, with the EU, despite having passed legislation to rely less on Russian oil still finding its way into European markets.
Stuart Smith, thank you very much for joining us from London and giving us that update. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has said that